YouTube, it's your boy FPL man. I'm back here with a brand new video, and today I've got for you my game week 10 team review as well as game week 11 team selection. And I also have fantastic news to share. Your boy is still in the top 4K. So yeah, we'll get into all of that as well as look at what to do with City assets because they've been really disappointing. We'll also look at RobtFPL's projected goals as well as the clean sheet charts. So let's dive in. So at first, you got Sanchez with 3 points. Quite disappointed, to be honest. He could have easily kept a clean sheet. Unfortunately, gave a dumb pen away, fouled Hoyland when he was nowhere near scoring a goal. And you know how Sanchez is, he always has a mistake or two in him in every game. And unfortunately, this one did cost badly. Instead of 10 points, he came away with only 3 points. So quite disappointed. But as a United fan, kind of happy because we did get a point at the end of the day. So, can't be too mad. And then you got Lewis, we got a bench. Pep Roulette hit me, guys. What can I say? And he came in for the last 15 minutes and he got 1 point. He might be on the chopping blocks if I'm being honest with you. And then you got Gabriel with 2 points and Konate with one. Unfortunately, Konate did get injured and came off around like in the first half. So kind of upset about that. But again, you can't predict things like that in FPL. These are variants going to happen. And Gabriel considering to Newcastle, it was expected. It's tough to go to, away at Newcastle, it's difficult to win there. And then in midfield, you got Mbimo 3 points. He did blank, unfortunately. And you got Rogers with 9 pointer. Mr. Differential come up clutch again. Listen, at 5 million, this guy's a cheat code. Is a must own. And yeah, if you don't have him, make sure you get him in ASAP. This guy's returning and taking along nicely. And then you got Mo Salah, who's been returning the favor ever since I kept him from game week 8, where people are selling him. I did captain him. He came up with 9 pointer. He should have had 2 goals, to be honest. He did miss a nice 1v1. But listen, I'm not too mad. He did return compared to other people's captain like Palmer and Haaland, where they blanked. So yeah, in regards to Palmer, he did come up with the 1 bonus point. Surprisingly, he didn't have too much of a good performance, if I'm being honest. He played quite selfish. He could have given a through ball to Jackson and he took a shot in traffic. Not too pleased. If you want to be a world class player, you gotta make those right decisions. And then you got Delap. Unfortunately, he didn't return. I was expecting big things from him versus Leicester, but he didn't get a single chance. And I think it's not to do with Delap, it's to do with Robert's team. He didn't get any service at all. So yeah, he might be on the chopping blocks as well, if I'm being honest with you. I don't trust Ipswich as a team to create for him, and yeah, he might be gone. And then you got Wood, Mr. Consistent, who's always saving me and keeping me in top 10K. I'll have to get a Wood jersey now. I mean, look, how many times has he returned now already? He's got like 8 goals this season, so it's ridiculous. 7 points, happy with him. And obviously Haaland blank, 5 games in a row now, man, ridiculous. I think like in the last 5 games, he only had one return for 15.4 million. That's unacceptable. So we're gonna talk about City asset and what to do with them. And then you got Fabianski with 2 points. Semenyo, unfortunately, I did bench him. I did tell people to bench Semenyo over Rogers. So unfortunately, they both return, but versus City, you can't be too mad. Like I understand City are not the fixture to obviously when you can play your attackers versus City, but ideally you want to bench them. But yeah, moving forward, we'll see. We'll look at potentially playing our attackers versus City because they've been horrible this year defensively. So listen, can't be too mad. This just shows I have a very good bench, and I'm happy that I own him because a lot of people did sell him in around game week 6 and 7. So yeah, let's move on to my game week 11 team selection. So for game week 11, I'm lining up with Fabianski, who's got Everton at home. Yes, I am benching Sanchez because he's got Arsenal at home, and I'm expecting him to not to clip a clean sheet, to be honest. And this guy, he always has a mistake or two in him, and he did consider dumb goal versus United, as I mentioned previously. So yeah, if I'm giving Fabianski a shot. Who's got Everton at home, who's been horrible, to be honest. Everton, I mean, look, neither have West Ham. They haven't looked good either, but I just feel like, look, he's playing at home, and Everton are I think I saw a news where it says that McNeil is not in training. So if McNeil is not there, they're missing one of the best creators. So and if this year plays, no one's gonna feed him, and he's a terrible striker. So I'm hoping there's a clean sheet there. And if you have Fabianski, I do recommend playing him this week. All the West Ham haven't looked good this season. I do want to give Fabianski a shot. And then you got Gabriel, Chelsea away, tough fixture. Even if he doesn't keep a clean sheet, I'm expecting a bullet header. So let's hope finally he gets a return. It's been a minute, to be honest. I've kept faith in him for the last 5 weeks. He's been blanking for a minute now. Can't remember the last time he scored a header. So finally, please repay the favor. And he does have a good track record versus Chelsea, where he did score a couple of headers. So I'm expecting big things. You got Lewis, who's got Brighton away. Just to mention that this is my bust him, guys. I don't think I'll be keeping Lewis. I think he's on the chopping blocks. We'll get to the next section and I'll be talking about my transfers. So Lewis is most likely gone. I haven't confirmed in transfers, but he's most likely the one of the players that I'll be dropping. I just don't trust Pep, and I just don't trust the fact that there's Champions League now, midweek fixtures, FA Cup, all these EFL as well as Champions League. Just too many fixtures, guys, and he's playing for England as well. So listen, like this guy's getting run to the ground. So as my but essentially, I don't have any rotation for him. I don't want to play Ipswich defender, so he's my third starting defender, and I can't have someone that's not, I can't trust week in week out. So he's gone for sure. And then you got Kanate, who's got a Villa at home. It seemed like a tough fixture on paper, but Villa also played 4 fixtures away, midweek fixtures, 2 in the Champions League, as well as the FL Cup, as well as in the Premier League. So they've played lots of away fixtures. They look very tired, exhausted, and they considered 40 Spurs. I mean, this could be a really high scoring game, guys. I mean, look, Salah and Kanate, they could both cook, if I'm being honest. I mean, look, Salah is a potential captaincy shout versus Villa at home. I mean, on paper, he could be one of the best captains, but we'll get into why I don't have Salah captain. But at the moment, look, it could go either way. And then obviously in midfield, as I said, Salah, look, I mean, Villa, he could cook them, to be honest. And then obviously Palmer, Arsenal at home, tough fixture on paper, but this guy is so talented, he can get a return versus anyone. So he's a doubt, though, a bit of a doubt, because he did get a knock versus United. But I think I saw him in the EFL Cup and he was on the bench. I mean, he didn't play, but obviously that's expected. And then I think he was just walking around fine. So he should be okay for the Arsenal game. It's a big game, so I'm expecting him to play. I mean, worst case, if he doesn't play, I got Rodgers coming in. And then you got Mbemo, who's got Bournemouth at home, really good fixture on paper. Could be another, outside the box captaincy shout. I mean, Brentford has looked amazing at home. Like they're very attacking. So I wouldn't be surprised if they get a goal or two there. And then you got Semenyo, who's got Brentford away. In terms of attackers, I think this is going to be a high-scoring game as well. Brentford, I mean, look, Semenyo looked phenomenal versus City. You could have 2 or 3 returns easily. And then Brentford just considered 2 late goals to Fulham in the last extra time, last 5 to 10 minutes. So look, Brentford are not great defensively, and I'm expecting Semenyo to cook as well as Mbuma to cook. Now, moving on to the forwards, as again, I can see I got Haaland as captain. This is something that I've bookmarked for a while. I do know that he's been in a really bad form now. Missed a lot of chances. He had a lot of XG and whatnot. But I just think, look, how many times is this guy going to blank? Like 5 games now? Listen, I don't expect him to blank continuously. He costs 15.4 and he got to, live up to that price. I want to give him one more shot versus Brighton away. And I do think that he's going to, return to form and hopefully bag 1 or 2 goals versus Brighton, who do play a very high line. And that's something that he didn't get to enjoy versus Southampton, Wolves, and obviously Fulham, because they did crowd him with their centre backs. I mean, they had 3-4 guys on him. So I think Brighton will really go for it, try to win and play a high line, and he'll get that space to enjoy. And maybe if he gets that 1v1 straight up with the keeper, he would put that away. So that's why I have Haaland as captain. I think he's a higher ceiling. But at the same time, Salah is not a bad shot. He's just as a good of a captain, in my opinion. And then he got Delap, who's got Tottenham away. That's another transfer I'm most likely going to make. I don't think I'll play him. I was not impressed with him versus Leicester. Like, it's not even him as an individual, but rather he doesn't get the chances as a striker. He has to create his own chance. And I don't trust Ipswich. They've been really poor, to be honest. So yeah, he's on the chopping blocks. We'll get into that. And then you got Chris Wood, Mr. Consistent. Newcastle, all club tax. I'm expecting big things from him again. I think he'll deliver at home. Forest have been amazing this season. Like, I mean, look, they've kept so many clean sheets, and their attackers, I mean, everything is going through him in terms of their attack. If Forest have scored, it's most likely going to be Chris Wood. So even this week, it's not even a bad transfer, if I'm being honest with you guys. And then obviously on bench, you got Sanchez and Rodgers and Burgess. Rodgers is player on the bench because he's playing Liverpool away, such a tough fixture, if I'm being honest. And then you got Sanchez, who got Arsenal at home, to be honest, so it's tough as well. Ultimately, this is how I'm lining up. This is my boss team. My actual team will be, during the deadline where I'll be making the transfer. So tune into my deadline stream on Saturday morning to see my final team for game week 11. Now let's move on to my transfer plans for game week 11. So yeah, as you guys can see, I'm currently looking to do Delap out to Welbeck in, but if you look at the fixtures, it doesn't seem like it's the right time to bring in Welbeck because he has Man City at home. But if you watch the Champions League, Man City considered 4 to Sporting Lisbon, which is crazy. And look, strikers are having fun, and they're scoring like goals left, right, center versus City. Since the Rodri injury, City have been conceding mad goals, and they're really exposed in transition. So definitely Welbeck could fit in that fixture. That's why I'm targeting him. Obviously, there's other options like Sean Larson, Raul, who I'm strongly considering, if I'm being honest. And then you also have Wissa. So look, there are multiple options I have here, but I just feel like he had like 8 returns in the last 10 games. So since the season started, he had like 8 returns. Like, that's insane consistency. Same level as Chris Wood, to be honest. Now, it's just that I don't know if it's the right time now, or should I go in game week 13, which might be the right entry point. Another thing is that there is Rutter, there is João Pedro, there is there's just too much competition. You got Ferguson. like ridiculous amount of competition for each spot, whether it be number 10 or a striker position. I do think that he's nailed for now, but it's only like 2 or 3 bad performances away from him being benched. So another thing to mention, Brighton doesn't have any European fixtures, so they only have one game per week. So he could definitely play, and he's in the form of his life. It's just that, do I target fixtures or form? And it could just come down to a 50-50 between him as well as Raul, who has good fixtures, and maybe Sean Larson as well. Um, and then obviously, yeah, the split of 50-50. I'll see what I do, tune into my deadline stream. And then you got obviously Lewis out for Mazraoui. Look, this is the one where I want to target United because they got a really good fixture on paper. Leicester and Ipswich and Everton. These 3 fixtures, scream clean sheets to me. Although Leicester have scored in every single game this season, I do think that United are a bit of a solid defense, and Mazraoui could definitely provide a clean sheet as well as the attacking potential. It's just that when the new manager comes, I'm not sure where he's going to play, whether right back or left back. It just depends, but I'm willing to take that punt, to be honest with you. And Lewis is not going to start at all. So yeah, this is where I'm at right now currently, guys. Let me know what you guys think. Ultimately, both transfers look good on paper. It's just that, is it the right entry point? Because there's doubts around Mazraoui's starting position once Amorim does come in. So yeah, now let's look at City assets, what to do with them. So with City assets, my opinion, I'll go one by one. I'll start with Guardiola. I think Guardiola has been exceptional asset this season. Like, I honestly slept on him personally. I thought, look, he's not going to play the same position and he's not going to be that attacking since Lewis is playing, because Pep wouldn't want both of his wing backs to go attack, and invert. But my goodness, was I wrong. This guy, for the last 5 games, he had 4 attacking returns. It's insane. They haven't kept a single clean sheet. I mean, I think they kept 1 clean sheet, and he racked up 3 bonus points, even though Haaland scored. This guy Guardiola, like, you can't even look at him as a defender. He's like a midfielder, right? So if you do consider selling him because of the fixtures, like they do have tough fixtures like Brighton, Spurs, and Liverpool, I wouldn't do that, because this guy, you can't look at him as a defender. He's more of like a midfielder slash striker. My goodness, like the position he's getting into, and finishing, insane. He's finishing better than Haaland now. Ridiculous. I mean, people are talking about, oh, who's going to be City striker if Haaland gets injured. You got the man right there, Guardiola. What a signing, man. Incredible player. Incredible player. I'm jealous of the owners. I would say he's definitely a hold. He's not a sell, regardless of fixtures. So, yeah. And then moving on to Lewis. Yeah, that's a bit of a different story, because there's a rotation. There is midweek fixtures. He's playing every single game. And obviously, Kyle Walker came in and played, started versus Bournemouth immediately after his injury. And that's a bad sign. I understand Lewis needs rest. He's playing for England and every single game for Pep. Yeah, I just think, I don't know whether to trust Pep with Lewis starts and minutes. And with this busy December period, yeah, he could be in the chopping blocks for me. And that's why I'm looking to take him out, as you guys saw in my last section. And I'd probably recommend you taking him out as well, unless you have a 4th defender that you can rotate with him with. Otherwise, he's a sell, in my opinion. And definitely maybe, potentially look at Lewis, Hall, Mazraoui, as I mentioned previously, or even Anderson or Robinson, or Eight Nori as well. So there's quite a few options, to be honest. And maybe you can even target Forest defenders, but they have a tough fixture run. So Lewis is a sell. And then you got Foden. I mean, people bought him for that beautiful fixture run of Wolves, Southampton, and Bournemouth, and unfortunately, he hasn't lived up to it. I understand he created really good chances for Haaland, and he just didn't finish them. Maybe it's just Haaland doesn't like Foden, and he doesn't want to give him FPL points, right? Maybe that, he wants to score all the points, because I know he plays FPL, so does his dad and his family. So maybe he doesn't want to score the point or assist from Foden. So I don't know what it is, but Foden has not been performing well. He's not an attacking, he's not a goal threat. I mean, I know he scored in the Champions League recently, and the last 2 Champions League games, but still, he's not getting it done in the EPL, so it doesn't mean anything really. And he costs 9.3. I think if you can get a significant upgrade somewhere else, like in the, I don't know, like maybe a Salah or maybe Palmer or Son, Saka, I'd maybe move him. But the next 2 fixtures for attackers for City are not too bad. And if he is nailed to start, I think he could be a hold as well. But it depends on your structure and what upgrades you get. He could be a sell slash keep. And then finally, main man, you got the Earl of Norway. Look, man, I've kept faith in him for so long now. He had like 4 blanks in the last 5 matches. He has not lived up to his price tag. And I think I want to give him 1 more or 2 more games before I move on to him. Because in terms of attacking fixtures, like, you want to attack Brighton and Spurs, and he has both of them. So I do want to give him that Brighton game before I make any decisions. Like, players like him, you gotta give him, you gotta be patient with them. Like, they will show up, and I'm expecting him to do big things with Brighton. So personally, he's a hold for me. I wouldn't sell him right now. So if you have him, definitely consider keeping him for 1 more week, and maybe reconsider around game week 12 and what to do with him. So yeah, that's my thoughts on the City assets. Hope that helps, guys. I know a lot of people have questions around United assets as well as Spurs assets, what to do. Should we load up on them? I would say, look, potentially, but don't triple up on them because you don't know what to expect with them. Because sometimes Spurs can be Spursy. I understand Ipswich is a good fixture on paper, but they just played midweek game and they lost in Turkey. So, like I'm talking about Tottenham. So definitely precaution. Like when this team play midweek games, they could be tired. Like and also Spurs are missing their two centre backs, Romero and Van der Beek. So think about that. And listen, it could be a back and forth game, Ipswich and Spurs, and don't underestimate Ipswich. And same thing with I would say Leicester. People are talking about doubling up, tripling up on United. I don't think that's ideal. And yeah, maybe two. So yeah, that's my thoughts on that. Now let's move on to RobtFPL's projected goals as well as clean sheet. So here is RobtFPL's game week 11 projected goals as well as clean sheet odds. As you guys can see, Salah and Haaland, no surprise, are the highest projected goal scorers. Hence, they're the captaincy options on paper. And as well as you have Son as well. But I do want to mention that Son, did come off around halftime in the midweek fixture. So he could also get early sub again. Last game week, he also got subbed around 50th minutes. So look, if you do captain in precaution that he could only get 60 minutes. And then obviously outside shout is Cunha, as well as you got Solanke for captaincy. But I wouldn't go there. You also have Bruno. But these are differentials if you're really chasing and you want to take a punt. These are the captaincy, I would say. Outside of Salah, Haaland, and Son, which I think are the three best captain on paper. So yeah, and if you want to bring a punt, like if you want to bring a player for this week to target a fixture, definitely consider Garnacho, Johnson, and maybe even a Bowen. And then obviously in terms of clean sheet odds, the highest clean sheet odds are for Manchester United 36 as well as Tottenham. I do think Tottenham will still concede though. I don't agree with that because like 38% for Tottenham, I disagree with that to be honest. So I do see clean sheets for maybe United as well as potentially for West Ham. I mean, look, Everton have been horrible to be honest. So yeah, and then you got Man City. Look, Man City are gonna concede, man. Honestly, I think Liverpool can keep a clean sheet. If I'm being honest. So yeah, let me know what you guys think. I think if you're targeting defense, maybe this week it's Newcastle and United. But to be honest, like no one is keeping a clean sheet. So yeah, let me know what you guys think. That will be it for Game Week 11. Make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and tune in for our next week's video on Friday. So peace out.